Oh yeah, going live on the Facebook. Okay, so hello Facebook. We are preparing for the episode. We're about to start here in a minute. Um, I'm simply going to share this video onto my personal page. Um, so are you guys okay with this topic lineup? Does this look good to you?
Sure.
This is your rodeo, bro. Don't ask me.
They're like, yeah, why not? Fuck it. Okay. In that case, let me share this, and then we'll go onto the podcast. Boop, boop, boop.
The podcast.
The podcast. Welcome to the podcast with Daniel Riguera.
Oh, God. Delete. Unfriend.
You love it.
You know.
Uh,
Love a drink. Also, if any of my friends are watching that live in Austin, I need a ride later.
Have we started? What's going on?
Hold on. I'm sharing it on Facebook.
Can I
Don't give me
watch this on
sep-
Facebook? Can I see you?
You can hear a 5-second delay of us. You can't see us.
Oh, I can't see us. Oh, it's just tequila. Oh, I see.
Techquila.
Techquila.
Quilla.
You say it like damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. We gotta get some propane. Quilla. That's not very good. Okay.
Okay, share it. Hockey duck. Thank you for bearing with us.
I'm sharing it.
Alrighty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Here, I'll count us off for me to read the intro. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Techquila, the podcast where we talk tech while taking shots of tequila every 10 minutes. Woo! I'm your host, Daniel Guerra. With me today is Mr. Christopher Scott. I don't even know if that's your actual full name.
It is.
Okay. Sound less excited.
Woo!
Okay.
There
And
we go.
then returning yet again is Mrs. Nina Hernandez.
I'm single, so that'd be Miss for sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I confuse those things all the
You
time.
aged me a little bit, but thank you. I'm free. I'm young and free.
I'm free of the shackles of patriarchy.
Hell no. Marriage.
Okay, let's start with Chris because I know he's not drinking tequila. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking terrible rot gut gin from Trader Joe's.
Oh God.
So it might as well
Yeah.
be tequila. I actually had that at the party we went to at Daniel Newman's party and Lucy. How do you say her last name? Lindgren?
Lendgren.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I had the Trader Joe's gin and it was not good at all.
The Admiral Joseph.
It was really bad.
It's Trader Joe's gin, bro.
I thought gin, even bad gin, can be pretty good, but it was pretty bad.
Nah.
Nah. Okay, what are you drinking?
I am finishing up a bottle of Herradura, and then I'm gonna open 1800 Silver.
Oh, look at you. That's a good one. That's solid.
Going back home.
So I got last episode, because the previous episode I literally gagged on awful tequila that Eric and I got together. I literally, you can go watch it. It was live.
Why?
I actively gagged on it. I kind of splurged last time, and I got the Casamigos, the one that George Clooney just sold for $1 billion.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not bad. So yeah. Anyway, cheers. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Salud.
Woo!
You know, this good tequila is probably a bajillion times better than what Chris is dealing with right now.
Most
yeah.
likely.
Okay,
In
so
my shot glass that from my roommate that says ass, the other vagina.
I need that.
oh god,
I need that.
I am
Give it
I am
as a
drinking
gift.
straight from the decanter.
Woo!
so you're not even pouring shots.
Fuck no, I'm just drinking straight from the decanter.
That's
Oh
manly.
Jesus, I think that's just lazy. I don't know if that's what you mean by
Yeah,
manly.
Yeah, it's not manly. It's just lazy.
Kind of got a hobo vibe, slight hobo vibe.
Yeah.
Do hobos have decanters? I don't.
No.
But if they did, they'd probably drink out
I
of
think
it.
their decanter is just their Burger King cup. Like,
This is my fine hobo crystal.
oh goddamn. Okay, so Nina, you know a lot more about what happened with Lyft than I do. Would you mind spearheading this
Okay. All right, everybody, buckle in.
news?
So we all know that Lyft has been capitalizing on the PR disaster that has been Uber for the last several months, or I don't know how long you want to go back. Definitely the last several months. And they have created a new idea, a new quote-unquote marketing vehicle, with Taco Bell. So I think that this is like a beginning of what they hope to be a wide range of options, but essentially right now you can basically just ask the driver to take you to Taco Bell on your way home. So if you
And like
get
go through the
super-
drive-through
right, so
or
if you're
leave you there?
super wa-
Okay.
No. It's a pit stop. So if you're super wasted, let's say you get picked up in Austin on 6th Street, you're headed home. You can schedule a stop through your app to basically just make your driver will make a pit stop at
Is
Taco
it like
Bell
a
for you.
big, obnoxious, branded Taco Bell button, like with the little Mexican Chihuahua, just saying
No,
you
there's,
could
there's a little special mode button that comes up. That says, it's taco time.
No, it's even kind of goofier than that. It
No.
says taco mode. In the mode for tacos?
Taco mode engaged.
Yeah, right. Take Lyft to participating Taco Bell locations for a free DLT when you request a ride in taco mode.
What's a DLT?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, God. Well, the thing
I'm
is,
scared to find out.
there's no Taco Bell in Chicago anymore, really, once they closed the one in Wrigleyville.
Was that the only one?
It's the only one that I know of, that I've ever been to.
That's fair.
I
I
thought-
haven't seen one.
I thought that Taco Bell was like the only Mexican food y'all have in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
there are so many Mexicans here. You don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
know.
I heard that I saw a billboard that said a couple of years ago that says Taco Bell, #1 Mexican restaurant in Rockford, Illinois.
Oh well,
This is not
Rockford,
Rockford.
Illinois is not Chicago. Nina, that's like saying Taco Bell, #1 Mexican restaurant in Waco, Texas.
Oh God!
That's what you just said.
Yeah.
I've never been to Rockford, but I did work in an office full of those people who moved here, and that actually makes a lot of sense of why they fucking loved it here.
We're like
When
white
you said-
suburbanites. Yes.
Oh my God!
That's why.
Awesome.
That's
There's
why.
food here. There's people.
For the record, the DLT is the Doritos Locos Taco.
Oh God.
I did not know that it now has its own acronym.
Excuse my ignorance. Please send me to prison.
Yeah, it's the Doritos. I had to Google that. So.
I have had one. I want to say it was good, but it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure
I
I
was
haven't
kinda
had
weirded
Taco
out.
Bell for like 6 years.
Oh, I'm not
Or-
too proud to beg.
Long-
Taco Bell.
Nah, when I'm on the road and there's a Taco Bell, I'll get my crunchy chicken fresco taco.
oh God.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like Chris. Chris knows me. Chris and I are siblings, I feel.
I'm not proud of it, but I'll acknowledge it.
From a Cajun
Chris-
father, you were.
Chris, did you and I grow up in the same household?
Are you from Kentucky? Because if not, no. No.
Austin, motherfucking Texas.
Okay, so Taco Mode. That's a cool name. That's great.
Yeah, it's horrible. And then, so I wish that y'all were, like, I don't know if we can put this on Twitter.
Oh, it goes
or
through
something, a
Waze?
Screenshot. But like, did you see the picture of it where there's it's your map of your Lyft and you have your button where you see where you are and you can set your pickup.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
it's
there's
through
all
Waze,
these little
yeah.
Tacos. Then there's all these little graphic tacos.
Oh no.
Like randomly wherever Taco Bell is.
Well, if you're
Oh,
hammered,
no.
And they're full
you're
of what looks
hammered-
to be like blue and green, like stuffing. I'm not sure. It's a
Oh my
crispy
God, this Taco
yeah.
Mode thing is so 80s. It's
Yeah.
No, that's what's in, man. You got the retro Taco Bells, from like Demolition Man.
it's like
Got that-
Tron.
Got that vaporwave aesthetic.
It's like I'm gonna ride my Tron taco bike through the cities.
They're very 2012. They got that vaporwave aesthetic.
Gross. Except it's less like gross. It's less
My
like
Taco Bell.
visually assaulting than vaporwave.
Yeah, I don't
I
know about that.
Shit. I understand why. Like, I think it's a great idea. I mean, that's what I don't understand about ride shares. Like, why does it have to be so formal? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I just say, like a cab, like, hey, drive me to fucking Taco Bell? I
They'll
don't really
do
get
it.
They will, but I just don't understand why it has to be facilitated like this exactly. But
Promotions.
I am accepting of it. It's just Taco Bell.
And also, again,
Like,
Yeah.
why not P. Terry's? Like, why
Oh,
not
Peter, dude, I miss P. Terry's.
something good?
I miss me some fucking root beer shake.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Daniel's jerking off right now.
Oh.
Hold on, guys.
We went there.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Hey, okay, we didn't need to
It's
dove
a
in.
drinking podcast. What do you expect?
Nina, we didn't need to dovetail into the house party game this early, okay? You didn't have to
Oh,
bring them.
God. Segue.
yeah, so we moving on then to house party.
Segue.
Shit, I didn't mean that for to be a real segue.
Can't waste a segue like that.
Do we have to? I don't even want
God.
to talk about it, but it's on the docket, so
Yeah,
do I have to do it? Do I have
you
to
brought
say
it up.
Fuck. Okay, so oh god, Sadie pointed this out to me. There's this game that just got back on Steam after censoring itself. It was removed for being like too. There were a lot of complaints filed against it, and then apparently the way that Steam allowed it was censor bars. So there's this game called House Party, and what it is, the premise in air quotes is there are 5 guys and 8 women at a house party, and you have to use like predatory tactics to sleep with these women, and it's not like it's not
Rapey tactics.
yeah, right. It's not as like in this. Oh, god damn it. Okay, it's shot time. Thank you for saving
great.
me. Alarm.
Speaking
Speaking
of,
of alcoholic tactics,
I have to forget about this game.
okay, Chris, you count down.
I already did. I already did my shot.
Oh, god damn it.
P2, fuck.
Oh, fine, I guess I'm doing it.
Ugh.
Okay, salud.
I didn't bring a chaser. Ooh.
I don't need no
miserable.
chaser.
I do. Ooh.
This tequila's good as fuck.
I'm Tex-Mex, okay?
No, you're Cajun Mex.
Yeah.
You're the raging. I can't even think of a Spanish word.
That's what they call the Raging Cajun.
Raging Cage. Okay.
Raging Cajun.
Rage on out
I was
there.
like, why do you sound so southern? Well,
Why do you think?
I don't know. No clue.
No, so the premise is, and this is relatively innocent for the other things in the game, like as quote unquote innocent as getting a girl really drunk to sleep with her, and then it gets like as weird as like stealing nude photos from her phone to like blackmail her into sex, like.
Not to be that person, but let me just clarify for the audience that, you know, giving someone alcohol to sleep with them is actually not consent.
Well, yeah.
That's great. That's playing out.
That's there's no that person in that particular thing.
I just want to clarify because I feel like maybe what you said earlier, people could sort of misconstrue.
Right.
So
Sorry, I
just wanna
meant
make clear that it's
Yeah.
not innocent to have sex with someone that is
yeah. Well, yeah.
man or woman. Man or woman.
Comparatively, it gets worse. Like
They're jamming their phones to isolate them from others at the party. Like it's
threatening them with nudes, right?
yeah, it's horrific all the way around.
yeah, isn't there's something else I'm missing, but I don't even want to try to find it or remember it.
Well, just looking at the Ars Technica article on it, the screenshot of the woman in it looks
Oh,
like
God.
a real girl.
Like a child. Like it's
So it looks like it's also
and it's under the sheets and it has an orgasm button and
Right, it has orgasm.
my body is cringing.
it's real bad.
Here's my thing: is like, I understand that, you know, sex is a part of games, just like sex is a part of movies or any kind of or books or any kind of medium that we have.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's a situation where this medium leads to some very disturbing acts being.
I mean, it's
taught to
fucking
other kids,
it's fucking
to other people.
rapey. Like even if, you know, something else that was posted in the subreddit that I kind of wanted to talk about before this came up, and I don't want to bring it up because it kind of has like a devil's advocate thing in the context of this game, but
Yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
I don't want to, but so like people talk about how violent video games don't make people violent.
Right.
But still, this even if that's the case, and this doesn't like teach people that, it's just like shitty to have like some sort of like
And
like first person
there,
rapey thing going on. Like that's not cool.
and there is a difference between the two. The type of extreme violence you see in video games is not a regular everyday occurrence. It is still in the realm of fantasy for the most part. No one is going to be. Very few people are living out Call of Duty in real life. Unless you're fighting for the Peshmerga or something like that. You're not living out Call of Duty. This game is taking a regular everyday situation, adding nothing that's a fantastical element, nothing that's
Yeah.
even heightened reality. It is just straight up teaching people to rape. It's there is a difference there. They're not the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that there will be a lot, or I don't know, but I have a sneaking, suspicion that there will be a lot of, or a segment of the population that says, you know what, this isn't a big deal. This is a game. And I've said that. I have found myself guilty of saying the same thing about violence in video games.
Yeah,
where
me
it's
too.
like,
Yeah.
as you said, like I don't own a weapon. I'm not a license to carry holder. I don't exhibit any violent tendencies. What does it matter if I, like to play a video game in which I uh uh
Like
shoot
brutally
guns
murder
or
people. Yeah.
right
Like
or
Skyrim where you hack people in the
zone
face.
or kill aliens or
Right.
etc etc etc. I understand that, and so I come from that background of the gamer background of being resistant to any kind of, especially you feel like it's kind of like older people who don't really get it, quote unquote. Um, but now I'm start with this game. If the argument was applied to this, that same argument was applied to this game,
It feels gross.
it feels disgusting. And,
Yeah,
and I
right.
see
Agreed.
that argument could be made, and that's why I feel like this game is so dangerous. Because I feel like kids, especially young boys, would say, "Look, I'm not hurting anybody. This is just a game. This is what me and my friends talk about at high school or whatever." Whether or not that's true, uh, I feel like that it makes me want to re-examine how I think about video games and what they what they essentially program us to do.
Yeah, and one thing is having like sexual content, right? That is like consensual, right? And
And
the other thing is this.
and
Right.
even with something, even with violent video games, they're still presented as unreality. They're not, even if there's
It's fantasy.
verisimilitude to it, it's fantasy. Whereas with this is an occurrence that happens every day, all over.
Well, it kind of
It's
falls under the category of, like on Steam, it'll like suggest you games, and most of mine are way off. Like I keep getting a lot of these weird like anime dating sim things, and this falls under that category of like dating sim, but in an awful way. like dating sim, more like rape sim, right? Like
yeah,
Exactly. No, and it's, if you think about it, it makes sense that this was made, that somebody probably played all those games that you're referring to,
right.
and this is their interpretation of it. And so of course I don't want to badmouth anybody. Like I understand that
feel free to.
it doesn't always, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to put out doesn't always present as you want it to. And sometimes people put things out there, they get feedback, and they realize, oh my god, this is problematic AF. But so I do want to say that, but at the same time, I just feel like this game shows some pretty gnarly,
Well, yeah.
disgusting impulses,
Well,
and
even
that
the
should be at least
developer
talked
says
about.
gross things about it in defense.
And
One of the things they said in defense was the entire story of the game is 100% intact. There have been no changes made to the content of the game. It's merely meant to portray acts of sex, in quotes. And they talk about how it's like meant to be just like funny, which is like that's what the developer intended. Apparently, was it for it to be funny
I
or like
This person has some screwed up priorities. That's it's,
yeah, I mean it's. Go ahead.
It just everything about it is just gross. It's one of those things. The person who made it, developer may not be a rapist, may have never done anything like this. It might be fantasy for him, but there have been multitudes of women who have experienced this, lived through this, and it's just just gross.
And men as well.
And
That's
men
the
as
thing
well.
about that is the thing about when you are intoxicated, you cannot give. And of course, everybody, lots of people have a couple of drinks, and their idea is to hook up with someone. And of course, I'm not judging that. But when you are intoxicated and past the point of no return, you can't give consent, and that
Oh, yeah.
includes men. And and men have biological responses that would allow that
Oh
sort of
yeah.
thing to happen.
I mean, men, and I think there is a bias against, men coming forward and admitting they've been sexually assaulted or anything like that. But this game is about women and assaulting women and raping
Right.
women.
Right. Of course. No, you're
Yeah.
right. I just want to be fair and just say that
Oh yeah.
it's problematic when you're plying anyone with alcohol, and I think that's
Right.
the thing that these developers just don't understand is these tactics that they're using, like jamming their phones to isolate them, like these are all predatory tactics.
Yes.
That shouldn't be.
Like, what the fuck?
And it
Why
makes-
are you promoting them?
And it makes me wonder, not to pull the fucking nerds, but they've never even touched a girl. But it's it makes me wonder. It's how much experience do you have with women, with talking to women? It's
None.
that this is what you're creating. If this is a fantasy, this is an outlet. That's sad. It's one of those things. Dude, just go out there and talk to somebody. Talk to people. Talk to women like they're human beings, and you'll be okay.
Well, that's a thing.
Yeah, it's real gross.
Okay, let's move on. Fuck that.
Please.
Okay, so they're Red, the camera company. They make incredibly high quality cameras. Announced a few months ago that they were going to make a phone, and so I believe it's like any other phone made by an OEM, probably going to run Android. But more importantly,
It does.
it's modular, correct? Where you can attach a bunch of stuff on and have a really, really good camera. And then one of the other things they were talking about was it a hologram or something? I forget
It's got a hologram display. They're not releasing too much about it. They're just talking about that.
Yeah, there's shots that need to happen.
Uh-oh. Oh, I can't. Just kidding. I seriously do need a ride though later. If anybody can come pick me up.
Please help me.
Please help me.
I
Nina
need-
helpless.
I need help. They have me captive on this podcast. I can't.
Come to Austin. Give me a ride, bruh.
Okay, Chris, count down instead of taking swigs.
What are we counting from? 3?
Whatever you want.
30.
All right, 30. 29.
Oh, gosh.
20. 3, 2, 1, drink.
Salud.
Ugh.
Okay, actually, now that I'm looking at the phone, it's not as bad as I remember.
Yes, it is.
It's almost as bad as I remember, but it's not as bad. Okay, Nina, check it out. I want you to see this phone. So it's by this camera company that does cinematography level cameras.
All the Marvel movies are shot on red now.
Yeah, basically anything that's super. Yeah, so like cinematography, anything that's slow mo. They do ridiculously high frame rates. I don't know. Is it the Phantom camera? I forget what it is.
If it's shot by a major Hollywood studio, it's either on a red or an Alexa. That's just an Alexa. So.
I don't know that one. I only know Red.
They're the two biggies.
Ugh, I'm still recovering from that last shot.
Bruh.
Ugh, bruh.
Bruh.
I'm sick. $1,500.
It's that camera though. Camera nerds will buy this.
It's just like, what?
I mean, a lot of red cameras, just the body itself can run you, 40, 50,000 for the higher end ones. So.
But those are for cinematography people and for Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah. And in all fairness, the $1,500 one is made of titanium.
Oh, snap. There's two models?
Yeah, there's aluminum, which is $1,200, and titanium, which is $1,595.
Oh, and the titanium one was the one that was going to have a holographic display or whatever?
I think they both have it. I think the only difference is in the material.
Okay. And so the holographic display, from what I got from MKBHD, there we go, that's a mouthful. Marquez Brownlee's video is that it basically sounds like the 3D on the 3DS, but maybe a little deeper.
Hit me up, Marcus.
He's pretty cool. This guy's the tech guy on YouTube now, or one of the main ones at least.
There's this guy that I like who reviews different different like headphones and stuff. But
Who is he?
sorry, I forget his name.
Well, yeah. So
My bad.
I'm trying to. So holographic display. From what I saw from his video, it sounded like, and he couldn't really like show it because it was kind of a what's that called when you sign fucking paper?
Non-disclosure.
Thank you. That it sounded like non-disclosure. Yeah, he can only show, like, he was showing a prototype, and then he could only show his, like, reaction in the video. So the phone is, like, completely blurred as he's holding it at their headquarters or whatever. Or somewhere. I don't know if he's at their headquarters. And,
Are you stalking him? What?
yes, I'm watching him every step he makes. I'm watching him.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
No, so, yeah, it sounds like it's just, like, the 3DS, maybe, probably significantly better or deeper, but, that kind of, like, 3D holographic effect. But I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
From what he described, that's what it sounds like.
I thought 3D was over.
3D TVs are over, thank God. That
3D movies, are those over as well?
Mainly, I think things that just require glasses, but I think those are done.
right. I like the 3DS because you can just flip the switch and like boom, it's 3D. And you can.
I thought that was stupid. I also read an article that like 0 people used that.
I turn it on sometimes. I find that when I play Smash on the 3DS, I really like it. If there's like a cutscene, I turn it on because it adds to the cutscene.
Oh, really?
I keep it off most of the time. Like 80% of the time, it's off. Also because it destroys the battery in the 3DS. But because it doesn't require glasses, right? I really like it in that I can choose to like turn it on and be like, boom, 3D for this cutscene. Looks great. I like that a lot.
I
Anyway.
understand why we have to have it, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
So this thing is ugly as fuck.
Yeah, but that's not the point, right? The point is to look. It's not like an iPhone or like a fucking like Samsung bleeding edge thing. It's just like looks like a Nokia.
At a certain point with a smartphone, you're gonna hit diminishing returns on the camera. You're gonna.
You're right. That's 100% correct.
Your sensor is still going to be this less than the size of your pinky nail. You're going to hit a point of diminishing returns, and so you're paying this much for something that has, in my opinion, horrific industrial design just aesthetically.
But did you see that modular lens that attaches on the back?
Yeah.
Dude.
It
Cool.
looks
Again,
so legit.
Your sensor is still less than the size of your pinky nail. Whereas you compare that to anything that's like in any of the other red models or a professional level camera, a DSLR, you're gonna hit a point of diminishing return. So you can add as many lens attachments as you want, but your sensor is still tiny as shit. So you're still not gonna get the depth of field you want without using software trickery. You're still not gonna get the overall quality you want. So you're spending $1,500 on
Buy a DSLR, OMG.
Or like a small mirrorless camera, even, right?
A small mirrorless camera with even a crop sensor on it will be better in the long run for you than this thing.
Yeah, my pen has gotten great shots. Although the point is, and he brings it up in the video, is that this is supposed to be, and we can't test that. This is supposed to be able to shoot like 4K and 8K, right? It's supposed to be able to compete with the low-end DSLR and the
still have a tiny
mirrorless.
Sensor. You're still going to be run up against physics.
Right,
still
so like
tiny sensor.
Yeah, nerd, like you said, to nerd out, the smaller the sensor, the shallower the depth of field gets, right? So like
no, bigger the sensor, the smaller the sensor, the less shallow depth of field you're going to have. So you won't get that cinematic shallow depth of field look. Everything's going to be, closer to
Right. Everything is shallower ultimately. Like the whole scene becomes shallower. Like
shallower is when you're, it's the bokeh, that out of focus area.
Right.
Either way, you're not going to get a cinematic look because
the bigger sensors will give you the nicer
the nicer bokeh, the nice cinematic look. That nice shooting at 2.8 or 1.8.
Right.
You'll get that with the bigger sensor, but you won't get that with this just because of the nature of the sensor.
Right.
It's still a phone size sensor.
Which is a great point. So they're trying to, and it's weird, is that they're trying to compete with these mirrorless and lower end DSLRs.
So who is this product for?
I don't know. It's a niche market. The market is niche, 100%.
And the thing is, they're talking about if there's, when the new iPhone comes out, you're going to have, probably the latest and greatest with the full set, with the full display on the front and all that. Will be, probably around $1,300 to $1,500. And so they are starting to try to create a market of high-end iPhones or high-end mobile devices that are outside of the hands of us plebs kind of deal. And this
That's
is how they kinda
already
play
existed
that.
with the iPhone. You know what I mean? Like the iPhone and like I'd say like Samsung and even now with the Pixel, like they all have great cameras. So who cares? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
why would you
But
get?
this is something that I think if you're
It's niche as fuck.
it's a niche as fuck, and I still can't quite figure out who it's for because Android nerds aren't going to buy this.
No.
Especially if
Hell
it's not
no,
running
and I
pure
am an
Android.
nerd.
You might get a
Wait.
handful of like DPs
No,
or
but
something.
I have a DSLR, so why the fuck would I buy that?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know who it's for. Wait, I can tell you who it's for. It's for Marquez fucking Brownlee. That's who it's for.
Yeah. Or it's for somebody. It's for somebody like Chivo or somebody who is an actual cinematographer or a DP or anything like that. It's for
Yeah,
that.
like maybe it's the
But-
phone you take with you when you're going to like scout a set, like not a
the
set,
thing
whatever they
is,
call it when you
there's-
scout places.
Even at $1,500, their markup on this probably isn't all that great. Like they're probably their markup is probably the skin of their teeth. They're probably more than breaking even, but selling to a handful of DPs and camera enthusiasts is not going to make you that much money in the long run. So I'm really curious who this is for.
I really don't know, and it's not like a PR move either. Like people know who Red is. Like
Yeah, to me it looks like a product without a market, but who knows? I could be dead wrong, and it becomes incredibly popular. But
I agree with you. I don't really think there's a fucking market for this. It's just
Yeah.
like look at who doesn't know about it. The person who is aware of the common consumer phones, and look at who does know
Yeah.
about it. The nerds.
I mean,
Amongst our panel, I mean.
I think in the
I'm not offended. I'm cool. Way cooler than
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like we're nerdy. The reason we know about this is because we're like camera nerds, and we're like, oh, Red's making a phone. Isn't that cool? Like,
Yeah, and I think in the long run, this is a kind of. I think it might just be like a proof of concept kind of deal. Like, hey, this is what we're capable of, and they'll take this technology and probably pair up with another manufacturer somewhere in the future, which will be a much. You'll get a Samsung or a LG or something like that that'll have that little red logo on there, and they'll pair up with them, and they'll make a lot more money licensing it.
the devil has
I think
come
this
for
is-
us.
No.
Thy name is Tequila.
All right, or Rock Gut Gin.
Yeah, well, yeah. You got. Is it actually the Trader Joe's brand?
It's Admiral Joseph.
That's what they call it, Emerald
Yeah,
Joseph.
Admiral
Oh,
Joseph.
Admiral,
As in, he is a officer in the Royal Navy.
the Royal Navy, not the American Navy.
No, it's London dry gin, man. Why have to be American?
Oh, whatever. Because American gins are actually really good. I am a fan of them. Okay, Miss Hernandez, you do the honors.
Oh man. Oh god, I just burped and it was tequila.
An omen of the things to come.
Oh god. Bad omen. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Go.
There it is.
Yep.
Hey, at least you're not drinking the name of the tequila that made me gag is called Corazón de Agave, which means, heart of the agave, which is like
Right.
what it's made from.
Right.
Like the source product. It would be like me naming my rum molasses. Like
Heart of molasses.
yeah. Or like naming a whiskey like rye,
Say it in Spanish, and you got yourself a product.
Oh god. Yeah, so I Eric and I bought that when he was here and we did like a in Chicago podcast and regret that purchase. Don't buy that.
I was extremely jealous. I would love to be in a live podcast.
Oh, it was great. It was just me and him sitting here. He was crashing at our place for like a week. Had a good time. Good old
Can I
time.
do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Whenever
I mean,
notice?
within reason.
I want. Whenever I want, with no notice.
I'll just show up. You'll be like, "Hey, bitch." You'll be like,
Even though I'm outside.
"Shit."
Can I come visit? Good, 'cause I'm outside.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, so we want to talk about WeChat. Let's talk about WeChat. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Chris brought it up a few months ago when he was going to come on and then bitched out. Yeah. You're not going to defend yourself? I was trying to provoke
I'm old.
you.
We've been over this.
I kind of have to burp.
Do it.
Have at it.
There you go.
Ooh, man.
It's not as bad as Burke. I miss you, but it's not as bad as Burke's burps on the podcast.
Aw, where's Bert?
Those were bad. He's moving to Switzerland in the next couple weeks here.
No.
Yeah, he's been publishing and moving, so he's had a lot going on. So he's like on a temporary hiatus.
How long is he gonna live over there?
For like a few years, he's doing his PhD.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a
Sweet.
big move. Yeah, Godspeed. So WeChat, we want to talk about WeChat. Chris, a few maybe like a month or two ago, sent me an article by is his name Ben Thompson or is it Ian Thompson? Ben Thompson.
Ben Thompson.
On Stratechery, where he talked about how WeChat was so powerful in China that it kind of like locked out the iPhone because of iMessage. And at this point, after having done some reading up on WeChat, it seems that WeChat, like, yes, that's true, but it has a bigger implication than just locking out the iPhone. It locks out. So I guess
it's not just. It didn't really lock out the iPhone. It just didn't create the iPhone lock-in.
It locks out exactly. It locks out iMessage specifically.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you have, a lot of the reason that people like their Apple products so much is because of iMessage.
Right. So like, I guess you can explain iMessage lock-in real quick.
It's one of those things that if you have Apple devices and you are messaging with anyone else who has an Apple device, you're most likely doing iMessage. You got the little blue bubbles, and if I'm on my Mac or my iPad or my iPhone or anything like that, I can bounce back and forth between conversations with no real lag. Everything hits instantaneously, and if for some reason I don't have internet access, it'll automatically jump over to SMS and then back and forth. So it's very, very easy to use. It's very, you can
doesn't it even SMS across as well? Like you can message me on your computer and I don't have iMessage.
Yep, it carries SMS across from it. It's, it's the best messaging app I've ever used.
Right.
It's one of the things that keeps me on Apple hardware.
Right. And so in the United States, iMessage lock-in is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
Whereas
very
in China,
powerful.
they use WeChat for everything.
Yeah. So let me give some background on WeChat. I've been doing some reading up. So WeChat, it's crazy. I saw, after doing some reading, there's also this really well done New York Times video about it. If you just Google New York Times WeChat, it'll come up. But in said video, it'll give you, like a fun little anecdote, a fun little story of like what one can do within the app. But imagine, for those of you that are in the American market, imagine something akin to well, before I even say that, let's start with the fact that in China, they have this giant firewall there. They call it the Great Firewall that keeps out a lot of Western products like Facebook, Twitter, etc. Because the communists want control of the content that are in the country. And also because they want to create their own competitors that can choke those products out, like WeChat. I don't think WeChat is government controlled, but I do think it's government funded.
Yes, Tencent, the developer, works very close with the Chinese government, but they're independent.
Yeah, okay, so they're not owned, right? So in the Chinese market, you had these competitors come up in a competitionless environment, with not only the Chinese government's blessing, but probably some infusion of money along the way. And so WeChat is interesting. Back to what I was trying to say earlier before I cut myself off. WeChat is like, imagine.
Okay, Donald Trump.
Exactly. He's rubbing off.
Oh God! Oh God!
God
Daniel
forbid.
Trump.
God forbid. No, so imagine, like, if, just to give an analogy of what WeChat is, imagine if you had Facebook, Yelp, Uber, and a chat app, like,
And
all in
PayPal.
one. Right. Venmo. I forgot Venmo. I was going to say Venmo, but sure,
Venmo,
PayPal.
PayPal, anything you can pay for with it.
Right. So
Buy
payment,
coffee with it.
review of like vendors, a way to call said vendors, a way to pay said vendors, a social media platform that is as popular as Facebook. I believe they're at, I don't know about as popular, but they're near, I want to say like 500 million or something like that, which is ridiculous. That was where Facebook was at like 2 or 3 years ago. And so they do all these things in the same ecosystem, which is extremely powerful. And so, like, not only has the Chinese government kept these other things from coming in and competing with their own thing, but they've kind of like created this like one app to rule them all kind of thing, which is crazy. And And it's just crazy how like if those things were to roll out, like if some sort of if that were to roll out in the U.S. and were to be adopted by even a few people, it would be extremely powerful. And I'm surprised they haven't come to Western markets yet to compete. Like I downloaded the app because, long story short, I was looking to repair an old Android phone, and you might have had to send it to China. And yeah, if they rolled out all those features in the app even here, it would be interesting to see, if it competed.
It's just, I think you would have a lot of, because it is available in the U.S. market and things like that, but I think you'd have a lot of hesitation on adoption here.
Absolutely. Well, so the payment thing isn't available, nor is the social media part. It's just the messaging part.
Well, there are even little things that WeChat does. It can, they have a heat map where you can see, where like large crowds of people are because the people are. Well, that's a great way for the Chinese government to see, who is
where everyone is.
Who is illegally. That's an incredibly large group of people there. That's not with no like published goal. What's going on? So it can be used as a movement suppression tool. It can be used. So you would have, I think, some. I would be very hesitant to use it or take advantage of any of its features like that myself, and I'm not even a major privacy advocate.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll be honest. When I downloaded it, I was like, yeah, I downloaded it to like talk to some like some like shop owner in like Shenzhen that could like fix this phone for some like off market parts, and that's all I did. And even as I was like registering, I was like, are the Chinese gonna like watch me now? Is the government like?
Well, you are running Android, so probably.
There you go, watching my every move. Yep. No, so
you masturbate.
Exactly.
Your camera's on right now.
I don't masturbate. I'm asexual. Psh.
Okay. Sure. I believe you.
What? Rude?
Rude?
Sorry, you live your truth, Daniel. Live your truth.
Sorry, I didn't hear. I was texting someone.
Priorities.
Sorry.
No, so...
I'm trying to get a ride, bro.
Oh, look at you. You and your rides.
I have a wife, a.k.a. built-in DD tonight.
That's bullshit. Mm-hmm. Jealous. I wish I had a spouse that could just drive me places.
Okay.
I'm usually DD, so this is
everyone listening, Nina needs a boyfriend, so, if you want to hit her up, then let me know.
A DD, not a boyfriend, DD. Don't ask me questions about where I'm going. I just need a ride.
I'm not going to ask you anything. All I know is I'm just trying to...
be the ideal ride.
I'm trying to hook it up. I'm trying to tailor this ride to you.
I'm trying to tailor a ride, not a boyfriend.
Oh God.
If someone did want to be my boyfriend and would give me rides.
If I can use you for your car, that would be preferable.
You can take my car. I didn't say it had to be their car. I have a car. I just need a ride.
There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're open and honest, and you set expectations going in,
I need a ride, not a car. A ride.
Is ride code for sexual acts?
I'm not hard up, bruh. I'm good.
Okay. I didn't think you were. Look, knowing you as well as I know you, Nina.
No, you shut up. My mom will listen to this. Cállate.
Oh, sorry. Is your mom Hernandez as well? Yes.
Sorry, Mama Hernandez.
Oh.
I've got about 10 more minutes.
Oh shit. Okay. We can talk about your topic that you posted, Mr. Scott.
What did I post? Oh yeah, the terrible.
Oh yeah.
So the spaceship, the spaceship campus, is it done? When is that done?
Yeah, I think they. Don't quote me on it, but I think they started moving workers in.
It's in Cupertino, correct?
Yes.
So it's in Cupertino.
Yeah. Cupertino.
What is an open office space plan? What are you talking about?
You don't know what that is? Oh man, Miss Journalist.
Like where you have cubicles or what?
No, the opposite. So imagine just a big ass table and a rolly chair, and like everyone on your team or even on other teams works at that table and other tables around you, and it's just open. Like that's it. It's just fucking tables.
Okay, maybe it's just because I did active shooter training today, but I feel uncomfortable with that.
No. That is actually a good take on it.
Yeah, that's one I didn't even think of.
Yeah. So
I took active shooter situation training at 7 8 o'clock this morning. Like so it's fresh in the brain. That's the only reason. That I
yeah,
bring
that's
it
not
up.
even like that's not even the context that I was thinking, but it is generally speaking. There is some employee dissatisfaction with it, mainly that people are like super fucking distracted, specifically by like noise around them. And me, as someone with a moderate to, I don't want to say severe, but a decent case of ADHD, hell yeah, I can sympathize with that. Because like, if you have like a bunch of people playing their music or just talking around me, I can't help but listen, like no matter what.
Yeah.
That sounds like an awful thing for productivity. And one thing I like about my job is that I take shots when alarms go off. Okay. Here we go. I'll count us down. Okay, let me know when y'all are ready.
Do it.
Nina?
Oh man.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. 3,
I
2,
can't.
1.
No.
Salud.
Ooh, excuse me.
So,
I might have to go throw up. Ooh.
don't do that. No.
Somebody dropped a cigarette. One of my roommates dropped a cigarette on the ground, so I may smoke that.
I'm not gonna live your truth. I'm not gonna.
Live your truth, bro. I love you, bruh. I love you, bruh.
I'm not
We're
gonna-
friends.
I mean, like, I personally can't smoke a cigarette. I'll feel like garbage. I like cigars. Anyway, but,
Ew.
do your thing. I am a Cuban stereotype.
That is extremely true. The moment your firstborn arrives in the world, I will smoke a cigar with you, bruh.
There you go.
Even tell her remotely.
You mean Juliano? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the Cubanist name.
Juliano Riera. Oh my god.
Jose Martí Regueira. That's.
Oh god. Prep, Sadie. Prep for this, Sadie.
Oh, we have been. Anyway,
We have them.
as far as the names, we've been arguing about names.
Oh god.
Anyway, so
I love you guys, by the way.
thank you. So
I never forget when we were leaving college, and I was driving you home from. Sorry, everyone, for this, but
That's fine.
you'll like it. I was driving him home from. We worked together at the same tutoring center, so we had an end of semester lunch, and I was driving back to his apartment. And he looked at me. He's like, I think I'm going to Chicago. He's like, I don't think it's gonna. It was like total kid moment where you're growing up. There's like, I don't think there's anything like anyone other than Sadie. And I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, man, like, you better go. Sew that shit up, lock that shit down, bro. It was one of the first friends that I had as a emerging adult that was like, oh wow, I found my person, like, weird. So anyway, love you guys, and I'll tell that story at your wedding. You better fucking invite me, bitches.
Nah, fuck you. You're not coming.
Hey, come. All right, I'm off this podcast. Fuck
Peace.
you.
I'm never talking to you again.
If
Thanks.
I don't get the mic at the wedding, that's the deal breaker.
Depends how drunk you are.
Oh, wasted, bro, wasted.
Oh, then of
But I wouldn't
course.
say anything bad because I only have good feelings.
There you go. There you go. No, so
Anyway, feel free to edit that
Nina
out.
works. Do you work mostly at home? Like, I'm trying to get back to the article here.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But you work mostly freelance at home, no?
Entirely, yeah.
Right. I thought it was entirely. I didn't want to assume. So like,
No, I'm at home.
You're the only one here that actually works in an office.
yeah, that's me. But my office isn't open. So like, between me and my supervisor, it's open. But we both put headphones on and like don't make noise. So like, I'm
Or
fine.
eye contact.
Yeah, but you're not in a room with 40 fucking people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that for a short amount of time. I went from an office to an open office, and it was horrific. And I quit that job shortly afterwards.
Right. So like there's plenty of there's one particular article, it was either on like Forbes or Business Insider or one of those, where they took a bunch of results from like 2 or 3 studies, maybe even more, I don't remember. It was a handful of studies, and the consensus was employees do not like open offices because one of the major distractors is sound, and there's visual distractors, etc. Main one is sound, but it's distracting. It's hard to be productive, and so the Apple employees are going from their current campus, which apparently has like a cubicle environment where people can, kind of like chill. From what I understand, the culture is relatively open. So like if you wanted to approach people and like collaborate on things, you can, but you have your own space. And that's the difference, is that this new Apple spaceship campus is, I don't know if it's 100% open, but a lot of them are, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, some engineers, some high-ranking engineers get their own office, but most of the plebs are, open office and floor plan.
Yeah, and that's
I don't mind it.
That sounds bad.
I don't mind it, but I feel like it's clearly a trend that companies are trying to take
Yes.
advantage of to make
Yes.
themselves more competitive.
And like make the wall whiteboard and
Yeah, exactly. And it's frankly, I think a lot of it is just superfluous to actually running a good business, a strong business. What you really need to run a business is people who know what they're doing, who are paid the right amount, and given the decision making authority to do so. Everything else to me is just aesthetics. Like whether you're in a cubicle, which is really like 30 years ago, everybody, like most people had offices, and now then they went to the cubes to downsize to make everything more modular. And now it's like, oh well, why do we even need these expensive cubes? We can just throw everybody together and, like you said, one desk space. And I understand that because it does probably promote collaboration. But at the same time, if you want people, that's what I like about working home. It's like if you want people to do a job, give them the room, the resources, and the funds to do that. Don't, they're going to do that whether they're in an office, their own office, or whether they're in a cubicle, or whether they're in an open space. You know what I mean? They're going to do that. It's just what's more productive, and I'm not convinced that for everyone an open
I
space
think for
is.
most people it's probably not very productive. Just everyone I know who's ever worked in one, myself included, found it to be an awful experience.
I am a person, as you can tell, who loves to talk, who loves to interact with other people. For me, an open space environment is actually really good for my work-life balance.
Well, I mean,
my
for
happiness, my morale.
For journalists,
But for my
it might work well, right?
Yeah,
Like
and it's one of those. We're talking about nerds. We're talking about
devs and
engineers,
designers.
devs and- yeah, they're. Then again, Apple is known for being a place for collaboration, working together. Teams aren't hard delineated teams in a lot of cases, but it's still just like, nah, fuck that.
Well, for journalists, my work, like watching All the President's Men, you see, I don't know if it's just like, Hollywood bullshit, but maybe the WashPo back then was open like it was in
the newsroom. I mean, aren't newsrooms supposed to be stereotypically always open? And,
right.
You got the editor's office, but everybody else is working out in the newsroom and pounding away on the typewriters and
Right.
the cloud of smoke and all that shit.
Everyone has like a pack of cigarettes, yeah.
Those are journalists. They're
Glory
working.
days.
They're not freaking autistic nerds who are trying to make the podcast app work better or anything.
Yeah, it's like compare Woodward and Bernstein to like fucking Wozniak.
Yeah. especially Bob Woodward is played by fucking Robert Redford.
Yeah.
It's like there's a world apart there.
They're fucking
All
like
right,
I mean,
that-
Woodward and Bernstein, there was a world apart. They were very different guys. So.
Yeah, but even Bernstein Bernstein is played by Dustin Hoffman is still
Right.
It's a stretch.
still worlds apart from Steve Wozniak.
Tell me about it.
All right, kids, I gotta go.
Anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of
but he's a billionaire, and we're at least very close, and we're not. So,
dude, I have no problem with Steve Wozniak.
oh yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of hating on him for. I feel like I'm just kind of giving a little joshing for being a nerd, and it's like
I love the fact. Yeah, dude, I love the fact that he just like drives a Prius like recklessly 90, 100 miles an hour, and
Oh man.
doesn't give a fuck about anything. Yeah, I just think he's a great guy.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't love Woz, there's something wrong with him, He's just a big old teddy bear. All right,
He's
guys,
a genius.
this has been fun.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, I gotta go to an improv show like the stereotypical Chicagoan I am.
Ew.
Woo, woo, woo.
That's okay. Okay, podcast
Heckle for
over.
me.
I'll read the outro here.
Bye, guys.
Aw,
All right, peace.
bye. So sad.
Oh, so sad. Bye bye.
So sad.
Okay, we're gonna stop being weird.
All
Okay.
right, I think we're gonna stop being weird.
On that note, thanks everyone for listening. Yay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Go for it.
Nothing. I saw Best of Grinder.
Oh no. Let's save
Your
that for
outro.
after the podcast. Okay, on that note, you can about a month ago I made a subreddit where you can submit topics and articles for us. The subreddit is reddit.com/r/Techquila, Techquila, as the podcast is spelled. You can catch us live on Facebook like we are right now. There goes the shot timer. We're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that. Nope.
And if you want to reach out to us on Twitter, the handle is @TechQuilaCast. Eric's normally on that. He's a pretty witty fucker. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this episode, then go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes and share the podcast with a friend. Either of these only take a minute of your time and helps us reach more people, and we are super thankful for that. If you love the show, you can head to our Patreon page. For $1 a month, you can get access to our Techquila Slack community, where you can interact with us directly, us being hosts, guests, and other patrons of the show. Our theme song is Ride Out by Yeshua, which is spelled YSHWA. Thanks for listening. Peace. Boom. Alrighty. Thanks, Facebook. I'm going to say bye to you now. This is a separate little intimate Facebook outro.
Bye.
End live video.